Alright, we're getting attacked again. Man, this is gonna be tedious. Alright. What? Again, cast this thing on the High Thug. There you go. And he's dead. Come on. Do your best, guys. You can do it. There you go. Now we're gonna grab this loot. Copper earring and copper commons. We can actually sell this stuff. But I'm not gonna sell it now because they will lose their value if you sell them one by one. I want to sell them all at once, especially the earrings and the yeah. So there's this weird mechanic in the game. If you sell a bracelet, if you sell the bracelets one by one, each time you sell one of them, the merchant who buys them from you will start demanding a smaller price for them. Wait, I'm just gonna wait for the music to die down here. Okay, anyways, I hope you guys can hear me above this roaring music. Yeah, and so every time you sell one of these, the merchant who buys them from you is gonna ask for is gonna offer you a smaller price each time, and eventually this will be like only for 15 copper commons, which is a very low profit for us. And the same thing with the copper earring. In fact, this one could probably drop to 10 coppers only, whereas if you sell them all at once, you can sell each one of them for like 60 or something. It's a very high price. The ring, surprisingly, the bronze ring, it does not drop in value, so you can sell these as many times as you want over long periods of time to the same merchant, and they will always fetch the same price, I think, or maybe slightly lower. They will not drop below 40 or coppers or something. Yeah. So the rings are more valuable overall than the bracelets and the earrings. Alright, so what could we possibly do here?
I'm gone.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to the Githzerai Townsperson because, yeah, there's this very long dialogue involved with these guys. The Githzerai Townsperson, he is the same race as Dakkon. He is yeah, they're both Githzerai. But apparently these Githzerai people, they have a small problem with Dakkon. They believe that he betrayed their pride, I think. They're very proudful people, very prideful, and they don't appreciate the fact that he is following you everywhere. Alright, and eventually I do want to explore the dialogue options with Dakkon. Actually, we could do this in the next few turns. Yeah, we're going to do this today. Let's check it out. Now that we have become a mage, we might actually do this. The man ignores and turns you to... And he ignores me and he turns to Dakkon instead. He speaks several clipped words in a low tongue, which you can't understand. They're speaking in their own language, and his expression doesn't change, and yeah. And they're talking very vigorously with each other. They're very disciplined, kind of samurai sort of people, and I really like their culture. They're very interesting. The Githzerai turns to you as you speak, and he speaks back to Dakkon. So he's not very interested in me. Apparently my charisma is not very high, and so he's not really interested in answering me at all. Anyways, Dakkon, can you ask some questions for me? Yeah. Dakkon turns to the Githzerai and speaks, this time at a slower, more measured pace than before. The Githzerai replies very quickly, your words are known to me, Githzerai interrupts. Face me and speak your mind, I will hear you. So they were having a very short, quick, very furious argument with each other, apparently, in a language that you do not understand. I had some questions. Akali drowning. I'm sorry? Okay, so your question is a stab in the dark, an arrow without direction. The answer to this question would fill the mind of an anarch. There is no time for such an answer. Tell me plainly what you wish to know. Okay, so here's the thing. These guys, they speak in some kind of, I don't know, quotes and historic texts, historic analogs. I don't know what to call these. Yeah, they have these specific references to throughout their history, and these indicate a specific thing. So when somebody tells you Akali drowning, it means he's telling you to be more specific about your question. All right, so we're going to be more specific. Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? We're just going to ask him some very basic questions just to tell him a few things. Yeah, just to test the guy, just to test what he knows and what he could possibly be helpful for. I mean, who knows, he might actually give us something. Can you tell me where the city is located? Yeah, we're going to ask him a bunch of questions about the city. Yeah, okay, so he's basically explaining about the portals, the keys, where they're located, a few things about Sigil itself. Honor, understand. What are these doors you speak of? Honor, understand. Alright, so there's nothing more to be said about the city itself. We could ask him about where to find work. He's going to tell you that you can collect rat tails and give them to the Office of Vermin Control as a bounty. Gathering the dead. You can be a collector. I've never actually tried this. I'm not sure if this is a way, something that you could possibly do. The dustmen pay for the dead, and yeah. So this is everything. We pretty much know all these things. Why the dustmen pay the collectors to buy these dead bodies and stuff. Anyways. What might be of interest around here? We're not asking any more questions. We can ask him about Dakkon. How is he not known to you? Yeah, that's a good question, by the way, but I just wanted to ask you because you're of the same race. Do not insult us both by treating one as a statue. He is not speechless. He's speechless. You can ask him. So he's basically telling him, why are you asking me? You could just ask him. He's your friend. He's right there. Alright, that's a fair point. Anyways, we're gonna leave for now. And I think we can talk to Dakkon. Okay, so let's try and talk to Dakkon. You know what? I think this is a good point for us to explore our dialogue options with Dakkon himself. This is the point where, since we are a mage, we might as well just use this Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon, and we gain a bunch of experience from that, so let's give it a try. And by the way, you are the only guy who gains this experience from this, from your dialogue with Dakkon, so there is really no risk of, you know, if you want to make sure that all of your party members gain experience and stuff, you could postpone this until you get Anna and all the other 3 party members there. But the thing is, this particular dialogue, it's only going to give experience to the nameless one, so there is no risk. You can do that anytime you want. Alright, so Dakkon turns to you. His eyes are like polished coal. And yeah. He speaks a lot. There's a lot of stuff he asks. Can I talk to you about your teachings? You can tell him to switch you, and this is the really cool thing about Dakkon. You can tell him to teach you to switch between a warrior and a mage. You can switch between these 2 classes anytime you want, and that's how valuable he is. I mean, in this game, you cannot switch between classes until you get a trainer. You need a trainer to switch you into a fighter, thief, and stuff. So I always bring along Dakkon because he's going to teach you how to become a fighter and a mage. And eventually we gain Anna, who can teach you to become a thief. So you have a mobile fortress, basically. They're like mobile trainers with you. They're going all the way, all around, and training you to whatever you want, depending on the situation. So we're going to ask him about the teachings, and we're going to ask him about the art. Know that the way of the people is not the same as the art you have come to know. It is not the energy that gives strength. It is knowing the self that gives strength. So it's basically about knowledge and understanding your inner power. Would you teach me the way of Zerthimon? Zerthimon is the great person that apparently I think he worships or something. He's like the Jesus. He's like the prophet of the Githzerai, their people. Do you know what you've asked? The texture of Dakkon's blade floors until it's become a stone. To walk the path of Zerthimon, you must know of the people. The knowing of such things by one not of the people is a difficult matter. The people, by the way, refers to Githzerai. That's how he refers to his own people. That's how they refer to themselves. There are those not of the people who have heard the way of Zerthimon, but they do not know the way. So it means we're basically going to express our intention to learn this way. I want to know of the people and know Zerthimon's teaching. I believe there is wisdom to learn such things. Excellent. Know that I have heard your words and I shall test them. To learn you must know the people. To know the people you must know the unbroken circle of Zerthimon. Okay, so he's going to teach us about the unbroken thing that he holds with him. It's a stone disc, and he will click it every now and then, and the blades slide into a new configuration. This will allow you to read them and derive knowledge from them. You can actually use this unbroken circle of Zerthimon in order to learn new spells. So we're going to tell him that I will read the first circle. The first circle, he just unlocked it for you. You can read it, and you're supposed to learn something from it. Anyways, we're going to ask him about the Githzerai. We're going to ask him about his people, because eventually it will become very significant into advancing your relationship with this guy. He will become stronger himself, and he will give you a lot of experience just by improving your friendship with him eventually. So, can you tell me about the Githzerai people? He will tell you about his people, about what they do. They live on the plane of limbo. They use their minds, their thoughts, and focus in order to basically mold the chaos matter in that region into whatever things they need. You could use the chaos matter to form islands, nations, weapons, armor, all kinds of things. I assume that's what it's about. Yeah, so they basically, there are people who live literally by using their thoughts and discipline in order to just survive in a very chaotic place known as limbo. So what is the blade you have? It's shift to your voice. Alright, so it's a garage blade. It's an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. It's made of a strange metal. It's almost hypnotic the way it shifts back and forth. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. Yeah, so it's a blade that is made of chaos matter. Basically, this blade would not exist if it was taken from Dakkon. It exists literally by the fact that he wants it to exist every moment of his life. Alright, move it with their thoughts. Yes, Karach, which is chaos matter, is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and its edge. And that is why every time you read the dialogue of Dakkon, his blade keeps shifting and changing its shape, depending on his mood, depending on his thoughts, his focus, and his intentions. And that's really the cool thing about this blade. It's a badass concept, by the way. I really like this concept, and I really wish more games implement something like this. But then again, I think no other game can successfully implemented this way, because I'm not sure if it has copyright issues or whatever, but it's still something I really want to see. So what rank does the blade signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the 2 words of Zerthmon. So apparently Dakkon is a Zerth, and he is a follower, a disciple of Zerthmon. Alright, so who is Zerthmon? He founded their race. He is basically their prophet, their leader, the person who long time ago made them what they are today. Okay, so the people, what did this try again? Okay, so I'm just gonna try to ask him a few questions to know more. Or anyways, wait and see what happens. Alright, so I think we asked him all we need to know about the blade. And what is that blade you have? You just told him, yeah. He just told us. You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. Why? I think by knowing, he means personal discipline and inner focus or something like that. It's basically, all things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. I think it is. He means that it's a very philosophical concept, I suppose. It means that. I think, therefore I am, or something like that. It's one of, it's, if you remember the René Descartes, I can't pronounce the guy's name. I think, therefore I am. Everything in this universe knows itself, and by knowing itself it exists, or something like that. So it's a very cool concept, I guess. And if a man does not know himself, when a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. And when a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. So its very existence is flawed, by the way. And I think he means that... so a person who does not know himself, who does not know his purpose, or has not no purpose, for existence, he doesn't really deserve to exist, and he is basically a person who is gonna constantly make mistakes. So we're gonna ask him, do you know yourself? Yeah, he is a bit apprehensive about this. He's a bit reserved. He doesn't want to answer that question. I ask again, do you know yourself? It is not my will that you know this. It's kind of embarrassing for him, I suppose. Perhaps I was too kind in phrasing it as a question. Tell me. It has come to pass that I do not know myself. Why? I do not know why. I know that it has happened, but I do not know the how nor the when. Okay, so apparently he no longer knows himself. He has lost his focus. He has lost his personal discipline, and he has no purpose anymore. But he doesn't know how he lost it, and I'm not sure if he actually wants to get it back. So yeah, he's a broken man. He is suffering from this issue, and this is one of the reasons why every time he meets one of his people, they give him shit. They basically shit on him completely. They try to ignore him. They try to insult him. They told him that you have lost your honor. You have broken your. You are not supposed to be one of us, because he basically follows me wherever I go, and apparently. Yeah, everything he says, he is bound by it. And we're going to discover more about this eventually. Alright. Can you teach me the ways in which your people speak? Okay, so he's going to teach us the language, and this is one step towards knowing more about this guy. Know that the speech of the people has its foundation in history. All things are history to us. Metaphor is a tool and an inspiration to the strength. Know that when we speak of Torig's table, we remember that Torig was noted for his hospitality. When we speak of Selkant's heart, we recall the lecherous and cruel nature of Selkant. So this way, yeah, they speak in metaphor. There are very specific metaphors and allegories to historic events and individuals. So when, for example, we were talking to that guy, the Githzerai, he told us Akali drowning. So he was basically telling us to be more specific. This is another example, these metaphors. I understand. Will you teach me? Alright, so he taught me. I heard, yeah, we gained 600 experience just by learning from him all these things. There's Vilquar's Eye, which is a person who is a treasonous, yes. Hail, Swordringer, and Zerkine's kin bow to you. Okay, so if somebody says Hail, Swordringer, or Zerkai's kin bow to you, you are supposed to reply, and the traveler is pleased. So, okay, that's a good thing to know. If somebody says to me Hail, Swordringer, I think this is the appropriate response. So Dakkon is a skilled teacher. After his instruction, you feel capable of exchanging proper greetings with Emir Githzerai. That is great. I have other questions. We're going to ask about the question again. What is Akali drowning? Know this, when Akali drowning is spoken, the speaker is telling you the answer to your question would serve no purpose. Yeah, so he's basically telling me to ask more specific questions. And yes, he's going to tell you the story of Akali, and she basically drowned herself in chaos matter by asking too many questions and becoming confused about the world around her. And she drowned because she lost her focus and she could not maintain the island on which she lived. Anyways, there was one more question, by the way, that we should have asked, but I don't know, we did not have... Wait a minute. Oh, we true neutral again? Seriously? Why? Why are we true neutral again? I don't understand, man. We're supposed to be good people. I think we did something to offend him or something. I don't know. I think we're too cruel with him, I suppose. We're gonna try to be good again. Seriously, this is very frustrating. I'm really trying hard to be good, lawful good person, but it's just difficult. I was not expecting this. Anyways, we're gonna talk to him again.
What is your will?
Alright. We're gonna ask him about the travels. You can ask him about the city of Sigil. This is actually the same dialogue line that we used in order to get him to join the party. Alright, so which one is the one? There's order everything. Yeah, this is the lawful response, so we're actually going to use this. Yeah, we're going to continue with that storyline. Where have you heard them? Ah, this is the part where he tells you that... yeah, then we will cease to know ourselves. Such words have been spoken before, I have heard them before, and I know them. So he knows my words. Once I knew them and knew their meaning, I have forgotten them until you spoke. So he knows me before. I spoke the words, but they do not belong to me. Others may know them, for the knowing of it lies within all things. I see. But I think he heard them from me or something. I'm not sure, because he used to be my companion in the past. Oh, I just realized that I probably just spoiled this his storyline. Anyways, I'm gonna search for another Githzerai person, because I think they can offer us more dialogue options with the guy. I'm not sure if it happens now or maybe later. Anyways, where are we going anyways? We just went through the marketplace, and yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna search for another of these to get the right townspeople. Yeah, there's one right here at the edge of the map, and we're gonna talk to him. Hail, Swordringer. Alright, excellent. This is the one we really want to talk to. The Githzerai ignores you and turns to Dakkon. All beholdens, Earth. Alright, so now you can actually understand what they're saying, because he taught you. Dakkon taught you their language. Dakkon replies in the same tongue. The sentence structure is odd. You think Dakkon said, "This one is numbered among the faithful." The Githzerai turns to you as you speak and turns back to Dakkon, and he speaks this time at great length. We're gonna try to translate. We can actually understand what they're saying. There's one by Dakkon's name who is not one of the people. It is said that his mind is divided. It is said that he is a Zerth and does not know the words of Zerthimon. Wait and listen to Dakkon's reply. This one is numbered among the faithful. Alright, so I think this is how it's gonna go. The Gith's response is so quick that it almost has the force of an attack behind it. You're not certain if you got the entire meaning, but it seems if the Gith just issued some sort of challenge to Dakkon. Zerth, do you obey the words of this human? Yeah, he's telling him that how come he is so loyal to me? Because you know they're proud people. They're supposed to be loyal to themselves only, not to other humans. So we're actually gonna wait and see what he says. Tkaz's choice has become mine. I see, so apparently he has no choice in the matter. And we're actually going to confront Dakkon about this issue. We want to know why he says that word. This matter carries the stink of the Illithid about it, which are basically squid people. They're like Cthulhu, and they are the greatest enemies of the Gith people, the Githzerai. I see no chains upon you. You speak your mind. How has this blasphemy come to be? So he's asking that how come you have become more like a slave or a follower to the Nameless One? He is saying that why are you following this guy? And he's basically challenging him. This is a very painful thing for the Githzerai, I think. For Dakkon specifically. The chains are my own. His skin seems to take on an ashen shade. Anarch of 100 years, there is no hourglass that can measure the tale. The matter is as twisted as free his roots. So he's basically telling you, it's complicated. I am following this guy because it's complicated and it is my responsibilities, it is my burden. And he is saying, the one besides me speaks. He's actually referring to me. Finally, he may speak, I will hear him. Alright, so if you could ask him if, alright, your words are known to me, face me and speak your mind, I will hear you. Akali drowning, we already know what it means. This whole huge amount of dialogue explaining what that a metaphor is about. Alright, so we're actually gonna ask about alright, can you tell me about Dakkon? Yeah, again, he has nothing to say about Dakkon, and that's it, that's done. I think we should now confront Dakkon about what he meant when he says Tkaz's choice has become mine. That is a very important piece of information. There you go. Alright, Githzerai language. Tkaz's choice, there we go. Dakkon's forehead creases. Yeah, I would know how you came to know that expression. I think he is a bit wary about the issue. How did we learn that particular metaphor? You spoke it when we met with the Githzerai. I would know what you meant by it. Alright, it is an expression that knows many meanings. Tell me one of them. Speaks of one who has no choice in their actions. So apparently he is following me because he has no choice. That is what I understand of it. So when I asked you to speak with the Githzerai, you had no choice but to do it. Why? Yeah, Dakkon is apparently he is slightly feeling pain towards this issue. He is very sad about it, I think. It is not my will to speak of this. I want to hear you speak of it. In fact, you said a number of things in that conversation which interested me. Yes, please. We want to reveal your secrets, to reveal your past. What is it you know about us? Know that your will is my will. When you speak, know I must hear you. Know that your words may stay my blade or guide it to the throat of another. Wow, okay, so apparently he is my servant? I don't understand. We gain 3,000 experience just by that small dialogue option. And I think we're going to level up in the next few minutes, yeah. Your path is my path. I am chained to you. You're my slave. Yeah, it's a very offensive word to use. Dakkon's face collapses in pain, as if he was struck, as if the word was a dagger stabbing at the corner of his suffering. But why Dakkon? Know that it is a long tale, and know that nothing is gained in the telling. He is bound to me. He is going to be my servant for the rest of his life. So we want to know why, and if there is a way for me to free him, I think we can become. More aligned with good. So we're gonna try to hear this tale. The people do not allow themselves to be enslaved to another, in deed or chains. If we find ourselves in such a cage, we act to free ourselves, even if it means that we must endure another cage for a time. You performed a great service for me. In so doing, you enslaved me. I have acted to free myself. I surrendered my word and myself to act in your name until your death. But here's the thing, yeah, so he swore an oath of some kind. He swore an oath, and he is limited by that oath for some reason or another, and I can't understand why. So we're gonna ask him, yeah, I can't die, so there's no way for you to free yourself. This was not known to me. I surrendered my word to him. I surrendered myself. Know that there is now nothing left that I must surrender except my life. I see. So we now know what exactly happened between us. Actually, we don't know yet, but apparently at some point in the past, he knew me. He knew about me. We met before I lost my memory. And at that time, he swore an oath to serve me. So we're going to see what exactly happened. This is the evil response. So this other me exacted a promise from you to serve him until he died, and you didn't know he was immortal? Excellent. Let's move on, slave. So this is the most offensive response possible, and this will probably make you an evil person. We want to avoid this at all costs. So, alright. It doesn't have to be that way. I can release you. I no longer wish you to be a slave. Consider the debt paid. No, it is not your word that carries the weight, and your word will not free me. I know in my heart that the chains remain. Words will not free them. Is there any way you can be freed? You must die a final death, yet your path is not death's path. There is no resolution to this matter. Yeah, this is a kind of... I mean, he could kill me, theoretically. If he kills me, he is pretty much done with it. But that would be the most dishonorable thing ever. And I don't think his people would approve of that. So he's going to be my follower for the time being. I swear I will find one, Dakkon. I will find one that sets you free.
My journal.
Alright, so this actually made him even more pained. More suffering. You know that you have added other words to my words. Now you have chained us both. Lovely. So apparently whatever he says, whenever Dakkon says something, his words are chains. He is bound by his words, and he is forced to act behind them. I'm not sure what kind of curse this is, or maybe it's something that he has limited himself by. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're going to ask him about me, about my previous incarnation. The Nameless One was alive previously, and he has multiple incarnations apparently, because he cannot truly die. So we're going to ask him about the previous incarnation, which forced Dakkon to become his servant or slave or something. Alright, tell me about the other me, the incarnation. You knew what he was like. What was he like? Alright.
Updated my journal.
Know that he was different. Know that the differences were not marked of the skin or in the way of the weapon, nor in the attire that cloaked him. Know that he was different in the way of thought, and that in the means he acted upon his thoughts. His will becomes substance. Know that he saw others and did not see them. He knew only how they could serve him. Okay, so apparently my previous incarnation was an evil, very opportunistic and backstabbing kind of person. And apparently he was a wizard, because he said that his will became substance. So apparently he was a mage previously. I am a mage myself, but I'm not much of a betrayer. I'm trying to be a good person there. Okay, so did he ever touch you, Dakkon? Did he betray you? It is not my will that you know of this. Tell me, Dakkon, did he ever betray you? I surrendered my word to him. I surrendered myself. Again, he is repeating the same thing, that he surrendered himself to my cause, and we can repeat the same things over and over. But instead, this time again, I'm going to ask him about what is it that I did for him so that he became my servant. You saved this one's life. In exchange, your life became mine. How did I save your life? Upon the rolling plains of Limbo, people shape cities from chaos within their thoughts. Okay, so he's going to describe the whole process, how this occurs all over again. Basically, their cities on Limbo, the plane of chaos, is forged using thoughts. The people there, the Githzerai, they use their thoughts and focus in order to create huge cities from chaos matter. So a divided mind is an unfocused mind. A divided mind fractures walls and weakens stones. So apparently, if the entire the existence of the cities in that great region depends on the focus and unity of the people. So if they become divided, if they start fighting each other, disagreeing, becoming too preoccupied with pleasure and stuff like that, the city will start to weaken and destroy itself, or it will just be destroyed by their enemies, I think. Long have I known the words of Zerthimon. Through my voice, many have come to know the words of Zerthimon. So apparently he was an apostle of Zerthimon, and he would spread his teachings and teach other people. Okay. So, but at some point, the Zerth protect the community from all threats, whether to the body or to the mind. But it came to pass that at some point he started to speak the words of Zerthimon without knowing them. He actually began to doubt the teachings of Zerthimon, and Yeah. Actually, no, he did not doubt them. He knew them. Okay, so he doubts other people's knowledge of the teachings of Zerthimon. He may have doubted the effectiveness of his teachings. As my mind became divided, those that looked to me as a guiding stone became divided. Wow, many scores of Githzerai, many hundreds of scores of Githzerai doubted. Shrek Tlor died that day. Yeah, so apparently he was a leadership figure. He was a leader of his people, or at least a figure of responsibility that other Githzerai looked to. And when he doubted himself, when he began to lose his focus, other people lost their focus as well, and that is how the city collapsed and just drowned into the chaos matter. The enemies of Zerthimon came, know that their hatred of these words, and the people lent their blades strength. You can read the rest of this dialogue, by the way. So he's going to explain his story and how he fell and got injured, and as the city became destroyed, gradually drowned into the chaos matter. So apparently, while he was drifting on the limbo, the sea of limbo on chaos matter, I came to him. And finally, we have what I've been looking for. This is the memory. As Dakkon says the words, your vision bleeds outwards, and a crawling sensation begins to form its way through the back of your skull. Whenever you feel that sensation, it means you are recovering a memory. And this is the memory that happened between you and Dakkon, so we're going to surrender. Excellent. The description here is just amazing. You are basically in a very huge... troubling location. It's a location that is very dangerous. Everything is in chaos. Everything is boiling and charring and dissolving and burning. This is the plane of limbo. All is chaos. Nothing is stable. You focus on the dying man that lies before you. It is why you have come to this place. Echo. Basically, this is what you hear yourself saying in the memory. Examine this earth, see if he still lives. The man is a Githzerai, his body embedded in an earthen pocket that swirls around him. Unconsciously, he has formed a grave from the elements. Apparently, with his subconscious thoughts and focus, he managed to form a small island in the chaos matter, and that is where he is currently standing. He is emaciated, he is very sick, he is very weak. And even though he is slightly wounded and injured, but it is faith that dealt him the mortal blow. He doubted his faith in the teachings of Zerthimon, and that is why he is now suffering. Alright, so in his left hand he is a twisted mass of metal, its surface having melted around his hand like a gauntlet. So yeah, he is carrying the sword, this garage blade we talked about earlier. And apparently this sword is dying, because the reason why is because Dakkon himself was dying, and he was in a very weakened state. So if he is in a weakened state, the sword itself will also be weakened. So we're gonna talk to him now. Okay, Dakkon, Zerth of Shrek Tlor drowning, last wielder of the Garage Blade. Know that I have come to you with the words of Zerthimon, carved not in chaos, but in stone, carved by the will in an unbroken circle. Okay, so this is actually very interesting. Apparently the unbroken circle of Zerthimon was given to him by me. I am the one who gave it to him, so I don't understand. How come? I'm not a Zerth, I'm not a Githzerai, so how come this happened? With effort he cracks his mouth to speak, but only dry hiss emerges. You can bring forth the stone from your pack and hold it before him so he can see. Okay. So apparently I gave him the stone so that he would know himself, so that he would restore his focus. And he knows it. Yeah, so he grabs that stone and he is going to use it to teach himself about Zerthimon once again. Know that I have saved your life, Dakkon, Zerth of Shrek Tlor. 6,000 experience. Holy crap, that's a lot. I think we're going to gain a level in a few minutes. In fact, we might even gain 2 levels. This is so much. Alright, so he speaks finally and he says, my life is yours until yours is no more. And he changed himself to me, and he didn't realize that I was immortal. The poor guy. Right. Yeah, this is how we met, and it's a very painful situation, by the way. The fact that we basically used him like that. So he got the circle from me. Yes, in knowing its words, I knew myself. Are we gonna go back to him later? Alignment changed and we have gained a level. Let's see. We are back to neutral good, thank God. I can't wait to become lawful, by the way. Did I mention that before? I think I did. Are we gonna level up? Just 1 hit point, that is pathetic. But then again, our spell memorization has increased. And actually, we're about to reach level 5. Just look at this, ridiculous. We are already at 19,649 experience. We need just like 300 more, 350 more, and we will reach level 5, which will actually make us more powerful than both of these guys. Interesting. Okay, so is there anything we can do? I think, yeah, we can now use more spells. We can memorize more spells. We're going to use the Chromatic Orb, just one more of this one. The Blood Bridge is not very useful, I think, although we will gain more spells eventually. Okay, so we're gonna get back to the conversation there. I could start reading the Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon, but I'm actually gonna... First of all, let's save the game, just in case we do something really stupid, yeah. Or the game crashes, you never know what might happen. So we're gonna talk to Dakkon. Alright. You said that I gave you the Circle of Zerthimon. Okay, so there's actually a further dialogue options here eventually when we learn more about him. We could ask him more about how I saved him at Shrakat Lore, or... I'm actually looking for any further dialogue options we can explore. I have read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthimon. I wish to speak to you more of the word. Actually, we did not even read it. I'm a liar. Let's see. Let's actually read this thing. Imagine that this thing, I gave it to him, and he can't even let go of him. I'm supposed to be able to take it back from him, but he just won't let go. It's gonna stay with him for now as a quest item. I think the reason why is because if we throw it away, we lose a huge amount of quests. I think it's supposed to be a very valuable quest item, and that's why they attached the item to Dakkon. Alright, so we're actually going to unlock this thing, and it is a very fine piece of stone. You can read the symbols if you want. You can read these dialogue options, the descriptions. Yeah, I'm actually not even going to bother with them too much. They're basically telling the story of these people. This Unbroken Circle, it contains the story of the Githzerai, how they became powerful, how they rise from their primitive beginnings, and yeah. Continue reading these. Yeah, okay. So they were they were divided. They were being attacked. They were pursued and tortured by these people called the Illithids, who are like the Cthulhu type of squid creatures, and they would enslave them. Yes, the Illithids enslaved the Githzerai. Man, there's a lot of dialogue. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this again. If you want to read this, if you want to read it all over again, feel free to pause the game at any moment and read through. Although chances are, if you own the game, you're probably gonna read it yourself. Trust me, it's actually worth reading it. But it really doesn't have any effect on, the knowledge contained within that dialogue, within that Unbroken Circle. It's not going to affect your playstyle whatsoever. It's just something that you can read and enjoy. Alright, so we're going to talk about the teachings. I have read the Unbroken Circle, and I wish to know more. So here's the thing, whenever you read that stone, you have two options. You can give him the superficial option, which is, I learned that your people were once slaves to the Illithids. It seems they committed many crimes against your people. This is the superficial, unwise response. It means that you haven't learned anything. If you want to give him, if you want to tell Dakkon what you know, you gotta choose the option that involves your wisdom. That you learned something, you learned a lesson from what you read. And it says that strength lies in knowing oneself. I learned that once someone does not know themselves, they are lost. They become tools for others. So yeah, this option is only available if you have a very high intelligence, very high wisdom.
Updated my journal.
And this is really cool because you gain a lot of experience from this, and you will gain more eventually. And he tells you that you have come to know the first circle. And all right, so I will read in the second circle. Okay, so we literally need like 6 more experience in order to advance to the next level. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kill some thugs here.
All right.
And there you go. These are the thugs. We're gonna try to provoke them. Oop, okay, so he's actually gonna attack me, and we didn't even do anything for the guy. Excellent. We're gonna just murder their faces and gain a little bit of experience. Oh, there's actually 4 of them. Holy smokes. Okay.
Stronger.
Oh, I just increased my power. Okay, I'm getting my butt kicked here. Ouch. Hey, we're actually being attacked by a bunch of people there. Ooh, these guys are powerful. We're gonna have to move back. Yeah, we're gonna have to move back. This guy is... These are the guys who actually have Porphyron's necklace. You remember the necklace we talked about from Porphyron? Yeah, these are the guys who have it. I have no idea why they're attacking me. They have no reason to do this. But I'm just gonna beat their faces anyway. We're gonna cast 2 spells at this huge guy there, Hive Thug. This is their boss, basically. Oh, it didn't even affect him, bastard. Ooh, I'm just totally getting my butt kicked there. We're gonna have to use the Mort's ability again. There you go. Alright. Alright, let's kill this guy first. Done. Phew, that was close. There's one more remaining. We're just gonna try and get rid of him. The power of one spell actually will increase your strength if you want. It is kind of interesting. We can use it on Dakkon, I suppose, yeah. And he comes towards us. That is just brilliant. Damn it. And he's dead. Look at this slaughterhouse, man. We just provoked these two and they just came after us like crazy. All the others just ran towards us. Anyways, we have a copper common, a battle axe, which could be useful if you want to sell it, I suppose, and the prayer beads from Porphyron. These are the ones that we want. This is a necklace of red and black prayer beads, a web of black lion swords. They have the same texture as the guy who wants them. You can sell this axe if you want. It's very damaging, by the way, but we can't use it because we're not a warrior. I'm not a warrior, basically, yeah. Some kind of... My grammar is just breaking down.
Done.
Alright, so we have this, this is not a worthy item. I'm just gonna grab the rings, bracelets, and earrings, basically. That's all I'm gonna do. So we're gonna get them to Dakkon. I'm gonna sell them eventually. Man, my arm hurts. Ah, jeez. I don't know what's happening, but my elbow is just extremely in pain right now. I am in pain, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So we just slaughtered these guys, and we gained a level. Yes.